I didn't plan it.
Wow.
Guys, I'm here with JEMIMAH, and we are putting on similar clothes. We did plan it, guys.
The spirit
This
is
is the
one.
love. We're in the same spirit. All right, guys,
Yes, sir.
welcome to class. Welcome to class. This is choir. Choir. What do you call it now? We're choir members. Oh, Ma'am Dora, I see you. I see Edwin in the room. Welcome to class. I'm excited. Welcome, everyone. This evening I have JEMIMAH. So, JEMIMAH, can you introduce yourself to the house? Welcome. How you doing? This is the lady behind the scene. She's been doing all the work. So, JEMIMAH, tell us, introduce yourself to the house before we get into the conversation today.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to be here this evening. In fact, I've been waiting, I've been preparing, and I'm finally happy to be here. My name is JEMIMAH IDAKWO. I'm a speaking coach. I am a book analyst and a book editor. My desire, my passion is to see that people get light from books and are transformed by it. I also teach people how to communicate effectively in order to excel irrespective of their space or their field of interest. So this is it about me.
Interesting. You're welcome. Welcome,
Thank you,
JEMIMAH. I'm excited to
coach.
have you in the house. All right,
Thank you,
so we're
ma'am.
going to get right into the conversation. This one is in-house. Guys, we are
Yeah.
going to be gisting. So just take it easy with us. Just in case you see us laughing, smiling, it's all part of the gist, okay? So I think Victor, you're welcome. I'm Girlie, how you doing? Prosper. So JEMIMAH, tell us what's the name of the book? What's the title of the book that you read? What book are you
Okay.
going to be sharing
The
with us
title
this evening?
Okay, I'm going to be sharing with us insights from the book How to Speak for Fun and Profit by Joe Saba. It's a book on speaking. Okay, it sheds light on how you can move from speaking as a hobby or something you love to do to beginning to earn from your speaking.
Interesting, Ma'am JEMIMAH. So it means that it is possible for us to speak for fun and also make money. How is that possible?
Of course, coach, of course. You know, there was a time you put together a class, read and earn with ease. Yes, I remember it. Read and earn with ease. Reading is a hobby, but then you are doing it and it's a hobby for you and you're also making profit from it. So you can translate that hobby that you have into something that begins to bring in profit for you. And one way that you can do this, the author actually put forth a 6-step strategy on how you can move from converting this hobby called speaking. Some people just know how to speak, they can keep on speaking and speaking, but there's a way you can channel that energy that you have or that capacity that you have in speaking such that it begins to bring profit for you. And what is that one way? The author speaks about consistent practicing. But before then, find out you don't just like to speak about everything. There must be a certain area that you always love talking about. For Coach Faith now is about books. Also for me, I'm about to begin a book analysis channel, a book analysis session on Telegram. What is the essence of it? To discuss ideas from books. Okay, what is my hobby then? Talking about books. Okay, so when I discovered I love books and I love to share ideas from them. Okay, why not put something together? And I love to speak. I love to speak about books. Why not put something together where you can begin to talk about books? Begin to tell people about books. For you, it may be a certain aspect of medicine. The author spoke about a man who is a chiropractor. That's somebody who works on pains or such defects manually. Okay, so he said this man attended one of his speaking courses and developed himself to the point where he was teaching people about this practice, a practice of how to cure. I think he was talking about a pain in the wrist, but people were they were gravitating towards it. So the author says, if you know something and you are able to present it to people in a way that it solves their problem, you're going to get money off of them. They'll be willing to pay you. Just as Coach Fetty to say that if you don't read, you're going to pay me to teach you what I read. It's as simple as that. Once you discover an area that you are passionate in, you can talk about that area non-stop. You can talk about it on end. Then it is time for you to begin to talk about it until you notice that you gain an extent of relevance, an extent of, or what do they call it now? I don't want to say perfection, but you have been so consistent in it that you know it like the back of your hand, and you can say it to a lot of people. From there, you notice that people begin to take note of you. You begin to gain relevance. In this day and time, we even have social media. You can just come online and talk about something, go back, another day, keep talking. The author even says, before you translate from saying you want to start earning from your speaking, you must have practice. He even said the list is 50 to 100 speeches. You must have practice to that extent before you can even say you want to start earning something from it. Okay, so be willing to, number one, find out that area that you know you can speak about on end, and you know you can communicate heart to heart with people, and then you can as you continue in that field, you continue building and you continue growing, automatically the money begins to flow in. The money begins to flow in.
Interesting. In fact, as you're just talking, just loving the way you are articulating and putting those words together. Beautiful, Jemima.
Thank you,
The
please.
truth is, when you said that thing, I just remember that program that we had. It was in 2021, right? Can I remember? I think it was in 2021. We did a program
Yes, it was
on
2021.
um, read and end with ease. In fact,
Yeah,
maybe
and
said
it's
and I was
easy.
like, oh, we only organized that program once. I
Because
think we're going to
yes.
bring it back in 2024. Yes,
Okay.
read and end with
Then
ease. And as we're also talking,
before we went on to
go on.
monetize your reading skill. Monetize your reading skill.
Yeah, I remember. Really beautiful. It seems that sort of migrated to monetize your reading skills. So, from all that you have shared so far, it's amazing. You know, when we read the work of what's his name, Gary Vaynerchuk. I think it says something similar to this, that a lot of times people believe that they can make money from their passions, but the truth is, he started off talking about wine, and he created the wine library where he could talk about wine, review wines, and just he just kept talking about wine on end till it became somewhat like an environment that people want to visit each time they want to know more about that subject. So what you're saying now is beautiful. That if you want to make money from your speaking, you can do it for fun and also make money from it. I think that's what you're saying right now. Yes. So it's beautiful that it is possible for us to do that. I really want you to go deep into this for people who are interested in taking their speaking to the next level or even making money from it. Believe that you have a lot to share with them today. So, according to the author, can you give a step-by-step approach for moving from speaking for fun to speaking for profit? According to the title of the book, is it possible? If it is possible, how do you transit from the place of speaking for fun to speaking for the profit aspect of it? Manu Essential, you're welcome. Over to you, Jimmy.
Okay, coach. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Well, this author actually did a good job. The man has been speaking for years, and he has actually built capacity and expertise in that space. And so the book is actually made of 6 chapters. So each chapter was more like a link to another. Chapter 1 follows chapter 2 flows from chapter 1, chapter 3 flows from chapter 2, like that was how the link flowed. And in it he gave a step-by-step approach to how you can actually translate from speaking for fun or as a hobby to making profit or making money from it. And one of those things he spoke about was he spoke about learning from or looking. Let me just read it from here. He said, "Look to the past to create the future." That was it. Those were his words. Look to the past to create the future. And what does that mean? Whatever you want to do today, there's somebody or there are a group of people who have done that thing and succeeded in it. All you have to do is learn what they have done, replicate, and proceed. Replicate in your unique way. As you replicate what they have done and you do it, you begin to see what you need to change. You begin to see what you need to work on. And so he said, by the time you study, look for a handful of people who you admire. You've heard people speak before. I believe we have come across people who spoke and we are like, wow, where did that person come from? And you're just wondering how they are speaking and capturing the hearts of people. So when you look to the past, you see a lot of people who have really spoken well. Personally, I know these people are not maybe public speakers per se, but they have really caught my interest. Anytime I listen to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala speak, I wonder, how is this woman speaking so fluently? She can articulate her words, capture her audience. Now, she may not be a public speaker per se, but she has those qualities. Another person is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Whenever I listen to her speak, I'm wondering, so for you, who is that person you've seen speak that you need to go and dig in? What's this person's history? When I observed Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, I had to go dig into her history. What's this woman about? And can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so what I found out was that this woman is such a reader. She's such a reader. I said, oh, I see it now. I see it now. And same with Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And so I knew that, Jemimah, if you should continue along this path of reading consistently, then your communication skills and your speaking skills, they will only become better and better and better. And I've seen that playing out already. So that's one thing that this author say, look for people you admire. Or you can go ahead and research great speakers of the world, past great speakers, and then put together those persons that you know you can learn from. You feel that you resonate with them. So that's one step. That's one thing that we can do. And then secondly, the author spoke about discovering your voice. He spoke about discovering your voice because no two speakers are the same. So the way you speak is different from the way somebody else will speak. When you speak, there are people who will resonate to your voice and they won't resonate to others. So there are those people you have been called to touch. There are people's hearts that you have been called to minister to. So it is important to recognize your uniqueness. And how does this take place? The author gave what you can do. He said, keep on practicing. As you practice, record yourself. When you are done, listen to yourself. What is standing out for you? When you talk, what is that thing that reverberates? What is that thing that you observe about your talk? What is that thing that makes you unique? When you find that out, begin to hone it. Begin to hone it until you see that you are unique and you stand out. Most great speakers, you know that they are not the same when you look at them. It's because they have discovered this thing. In the book, there's a quote by Dale Carnegie. He said, the difference between a good speaker and a great speaker is 1,000 speeches. It is 1,000 speeches. And it is in those 1,000 speeches that they discovered their voice. That's how they knew what works and what doesn't. That's how they knew what stories to tell. That's how they knew what to say to an audience. That's how they knew when an audience is listening or not. That's how they knew who they even needed to speak to, who they were called to by practicing. And then something else that the author said is learn to craft a result-getting speech. Learn to craft a result-getting speech. This author even said there are some book titles that people don't even want to look at, not because they are not great content, but because the title is not even compelling in the first place. So it goes the same with your speaking. When you want to speak, the title you give to it is important to even capture the attention of people in the first place to say they want to even listen to you. Okay, so he actually gave a way you can also put together your title for your speech. You don't just pick anything. For instance, the title of this book is How to Speak for Fun and Profit. It's clear. So the author was saying, if you want to do that, you can say how to speak effectively. Let's just say that how to speak effectively, or he can say you can do something like 7 ways to speaking effectively. That some of those titles are catchy and people know what they are to expect when they come to hear you speak. So it is in your title, and this thing is a craft that you own. It is something that you build. Okay, so that is something else the author said. That's another step. I remember this is a step-by-step approach, so you follow it like that. Then he said, find your audience. Like I said just now, that it is important for you to find the people that you've been called to, and it's also practice. The people that resonate with your message. There are people that no matter how you talk, they will not understand. They will, what are you saying? You're not being called to them. Don't force yourself on people you've not been called to. The people that you've been called to, they will listen to you and effortlessly flow with your message. Just take note of that and be observant. And when you find them, stick with them. Keep on delivering. Keep on delivering your content. Keep on delivering your content. And one thing usually happens as you continue like that, you notice that your tentacles begin to spread and your level and your extent of influence and relevance begins to really stretch on every side. So when you find the people you've been called to, I've heard my pastor once said, the assignment that you have been given to by God, focus on it and do it, and trust God for the next person to do theirs. So don't look and say, who will speak to these people? Okay, you've been called to teenagers, let's say. You've been called to teach teenagers about health. Let's just put it that way. Focus, especially when you know that this is where God wants you to be. Just focus on it and continue to speak. Don't look and say, who will help the old people in this generation? Let me try and build myself for them. No. You're going to be, you will be worn out because they may not understand your message. You will not called on to them. But once you are able to focus your attention on the audience that resonates with your message, you will notice that even within the audience, when people have been built, they will take that message and begin to also move in the direction of their own calling. So that is it about finding your audience. Ensure that you take time to observe. For instance, as I said, there are social media platforms when you can just come record yourself and post. Take note of the people that are always interacting with your content. That if you don't even know who they are, take note of people always interacting with your content. Are they males? Are they females? From what area? Are they children? What are they saying? Which of your message, which of the talks that you give are they interacting with more than others? From there, just ensure that you are really observant. You are a sniper. You want to hit this thing on target and ensure that this audience that you found always gets value from you. That is the number 4 step. Then the number 5 step is moving from basics to business. Please, I want us all to understand that speaking is a business, especially if you desire to go far in it. Speaking is a business. And irrespective of the sphere of life that you are in, you need to be able to speak well if you must see results, if you must see the growth that you are looking for. There's something they call shameless marketing or carrying your business on your head. It's speaking they are doing there. So if you're not able to speak, if you don't take speaking as a business, how do you want to fly? How do you want to succeed? So when you begin to see speaking as a business, from the word go, you begin to build yourself. You begin to learn what it takes to succeed in that field. Just like you do with any business, you want it to grow, you want it to thrive. You keep researching, you keep thinking, what do I do? You keep putting this and that together. Take your speaking like that too. You want to learn to speak well, you're not practicing, you're not learning from people who have spoken well before, you're not doing anything. I just want to be a professional speaker. It doesn't work that way. But if you take it that it's a business, you will treat it as such and you will give it the attention that is necessary. Okay, so that is the number 5. And then the number 6 comes to payment. When people decide that, we have seen that you're growing, we have seen that you have capacity, we want to invite you to speak here and to speak there. One thing you need to know is this. Don't say, I read one of John C. Maxwell's book and he said he charges $1,000 per speaking event, and you've not built yourself to that capacity. They call you, say $1,000. You say, we can't invite you now. Just always know where you are per time and charge based on that. And if you know that you are still in the process of building and somebody invites you to speak, don't go for money yet. Just wait and deliver. Keep using that opportunity to build yourself. When people see that you have something, they will be willing to, they see that, you've done so well. You don't need to tell them to give you money, especially when you are still building yourself up. But when you have become recognized, then you can begin to put price tags. You can begin to say, this is how much I charge, this is it, and this is that. So that's what I just want to say. This is the step-by-step approach to building yourself. Number 1 is looking to the past to create the future. Let me read it from here. Looking to the past to create the future. Number 2 is discover your voice. Number 3 is discover your audience. Number four, okay, number three is learn to craft a results getting speech. Number four is discover your audience. And then number five is move from basics to business. And then number six has to do with charging for your speaking. So this is it, coach.
You see, Ma'am Redemptor, I'm just looking at Jemima. See the way I'm smiling. Taking one step at a time and she's delivering it hot. Guys, are you learning? Thank you, Jemima. That was beautiful. That was really wonderful. I can see all the comments. People love money. You guys want to make money. Start speaking to make money. Start speaking for fun. When I organized the first program with anyone on how to, what was the title again, Jemima? Read and end with ease, right? Okay. So the title was
Read
Read
and
and
end
End
with
with Ease.
ease.
Okay, so a lot of people were showing up. I don't know how many people started up Geneva, but a lot of people started the are you sure you can make money from this? Are you sure you're not scamming? You're not going to scam us. In fact, I could remember there was a guy, I would never forget that guy. The guy sent me a DM. I was like, I think at that time, for the program, it was about $10, just $10. And the person started me up. I was like, I want to pay this money, Coach Faith. Are you sure you're not going to scam us? Are you sure I can really make money from this reading? And I told him that I said, please, I beg you in the name of God, don't pay. I'm not interested. I'm not, in fact, don't pay for this because I don't need your wala, you know. And I later told him not to pay. And he was like, why? I said, please, I don't need people like you here. So when we started talking about this speaking for fun and at the same time understanding that there's a business aspect of speaking, let me even ask you guys, how many of you are interested in speaking, like taking your speaking to the next level? How many of you are interested? Okay, tell us in the comments if you're interested. Ma'am Jemima, according to the book, what makes a successful speaker? What makes a successful speaker? I'll be reading your comments, guys. Jemima, go ahead. What makes a successful speaker?
Okay, according to the book, three things makes a successful speaker or a great speaker. One is vulnerability. That's number one. Secondly is humility. Okay, so and the third one, let me and I'm finding hard to.
Yes, please go ahead. I think Basi.
Yes.
Basi is all right.
Okay,
Stop
so there are
taking
three things
it
that
as a
makes for
hobby.
successful speaking.
Okay, please tell us.
Touch, vulnerability, authenticity, and humility. These three things makes for successful speaking. Now, let me say this at this point. Speaking is not just something you do because you want to say something. You speak because you want to touch the hearts of people and create transformation and create impact. You speak because you want to communicate a message, because you want to set people on fire. You want to get them to do things that ordinarily they wouldn't have done on their own. Why are we here doing Transcend with books? Telling you about books, telling you about ideas from books, telling you to come and listen, to come and implement these ideas. It's because we want to share this knowledge. We want to move you to take action. We want to move you to do the things you've been thinking, how do I get them done? I don't have the time to read. Okay, since you don't have the time to read, these are the ideas. They are presented to you. Just go and implement them and see the results that you desire. And so, if you want to speak, decide that you are going to do it from the heart and you are going to communicate to the heart of whoever is listening to you. Decide that you are going to be authentic with your message. One thing that people can smell from afar is a fake message or something that is fake that is not real at all. They can smell it. I don't know about others, but I've seen a couple of people who can smell fake from afar. There's something not right here, something not right. This person is saying something that is off. My heart just tells me. Okay, so authenticity, be you, be real, be one with your message. Something else is vulnerability. Be willing to be open to bring people into your reality in terms of your message. And then something else is humility. There is that tendency for people when they begin to build their speaking skill to become pompous. Okay, I know how to speak more than the other person. So what? I know how to speak more than, are we on the same cadre and all? You will not go far that way. You need to remain calm, remain humble, and just keep learning. Like Coach Faith always said, you will never get to that point where you say, I'm all perfect. I know it now. Nobody, I need nobody. And and you just do the thing. You must remain humble if you want to go up. Humility is like your stepping stone, even as a speaker, just as it is in other aspects of life. So these are three things that makes for a speaker. Authenticity. Your message must be real. Your message must be true. You must speak from the heart and communicate to the heart of the people that you are speaking to. You must be open, vulnerability, and then remain humble. So this is it.
Interesting, guys. Just to let you all know that JEMIMAH is the coach in the book club for speakers and writers. So if you want to speak well, you want to write well, go and join JEMIMAH. Make sure you register and join our book club, right? She's there helping other people be able to get better, read more books, and be able to speak. I know she will touch on that a little, but then, yes, humility is your stepping stone as a speaker. So, Madeleine, I want to ask, is it necessary for us to build this skill? The skill of speaking. Is it necessary? Tell us if it is.
Coach, I didn't get the question.
Is it necessary for us to build the speaking skill?
Oh, yes, it is necessary. It is very necessary. If you are a person that wants to go far, decide that you build your communication skill, of which one of them is speaking. If you want to go far, your desire is to impact people, your desire is to, or you want to own big businesses, you want to own, everybody wants to be great. We want to be able to impact lives all around the globe, all around the world, in our community. If you're not able to communicate and you're not able to speak, there will be an extent of hindrance you have. Now, I read this story on Facebook. Let me tell us a story. I read a story on Facebook a few days ago about the great man of God in Nigeria at one point, Ayo Babalola. I read a story about him, and in that story, I saw the great works that this man has done. I've studied about the man before, and I know that God used him in such strange ways. And I saw more in this write up just from a few days ago. But then this person said something really striking. He said one thing that was this man's hindrance was that there was no communication in English. That's number one. Number two, there was no written records of most of the acts of God through his life and most of the things that he did. And this person was saying, no matter how you feel you are or what's the word now, no matter how you feel you are anointed or you have something on you and you don't want to build your literacy, you don't want to go to school, not even school, you don't want to build your literacy, you don't want to be able to communicate, that there will be a lot of hindrance. This man had a lot he did, but we can't even get the records except you find somebody who was alive at that time and pass the message down through oral tradition. You may find it hard to get tapes that you can send all around the world and people will understand. Most of it was in his local dialect. Most of the man's messages was in his local dialect. Now, what am I saying? I'm not in any way trying to demean him. Neither am I in any way trying to bring down anything that he did. But what am I saying? If your desire is to impact people far and wide, there are some people that will never listen to you once they just hear something that comes out of your mouth. No matter the message you have, they will not listen. They won't if they hear jargons from your mouth. So if your desire is that you will go far, you want your message to spread far and wide, then you must build the speaking skill. One thing that burns so strong in my heart is that people are able to harness opportunities that come their way because they're able to present their ideas in a captivating manner. Some people just come and then they present opportunities to people. I want to do this for you. Okay, what do you have? What are your ideas? And then some people go all shy, they go all mute. Or let's say you are a CEO tomorrow and they call you to address your employee team, and then you come up and you begin to stammer, you can't speak. Is that what you want? Definitely that's not what anybody wants. And I know everybody wants to be great. We want to communicate. You want to be like who has met there's this man in America that has met literally 8 generations of the presidents. He was speaking to them consistently. Now, when we see such a person, we want to be like them. But then there are some level of ways these people communicate that if you're not able to meet up with it, no matter your message, no matter the thing on your head, no matter your fine face, nobody will listen to you. So this is why it is important to build your speaking skill and to build your communication if you want to go far, if you want to ensure that you are not hampered, if you want to ensure that the desires on your heart they are accomplished, you want to ensure that even long after you are gone, people can get your message and they can understand what you are saying, then it is important that you learn to speak as well as you can and to build your communication skill. Another reason is that we are all human beings in this earth. And every day we come across our fellow humans. And what do? We talk, we speak. So speaking transcends even from just public speaking, speaking to somebody, speaking to the crowd. Even day-to-day conversations, you need to have built your speaking skill in order for you to even pass your message across coherently so the other person can really understand what you are saying. I've heard I heard a very funny story that there was a war triggered in a nation because let's say I don't even know how to put it. Maybe a particular letter was omitted or somebody said something and instead of putting present tense, they put past tense. So the other country kind of saw it somewhere in another different way and war broke out. So even if that's one reason you also build your speaking skill, it is important. Let me just pause here.
Interesting, Jemima. Thank you for taking us there. Like I would always say that we live in the era of publishing. The reason King Solomon was the richest in his time, and some people also say he's still the richest right now. We don't know, but he was the richest in his time because he was one of the greatest publishers of his time. According to research, they meant to understand that King Solomon published over 3,000 proverbs. Let me know. All right, and from there they were able to bring out about a few of them, the book of Proverbs and Ecclesiastes and all of that. So, if you want to go far, what Jemima is saying is learn to speak, especially now that we live in the era where everybody right now, we are all content creators, creating content, talking to people, having conversations, and it's really a great thing to have. Otherwise, you will not be able to go far. No matter, I think I saw what Akanimo posted. He said it cuts across all field of influence, all areas of life. No matter what you do, you must be able to build it. Okay? No matter how loaded your communication skills is zero, you cannot go far. Beautiful. Dema says, I'm still due to the quote regarding the difference between a good speaker and just a speaker being 1,000 speeches. Yes, that's much. I was listening to one of my coach recently, and then he said it was before I started up the YouTube channel, this very channel, and he said he has been speaking for over 10 years, over 15 years. First speaking early 2000, that's over 20 years, and he's been speaking. And then he said, by the time you speak after 10 years, it is then you now understand that you are just getting started. And I was like, what are you saying? 10 years? Like he said he started speaking early 2000 and he was able to monetize his channel, I think in 2020. That was about after 20 years. And then he said, I've been speaking for the longest of time. It is when you have spoken for about 10 plus years, you now begin to understand what it means to be a speaker. So when Jemima said 1,000 speeches, she's just letting you know that you have to do this thing again and again. Yes, you have to be consistent. So you may be thinking right now, oh, I can flow with words, I can do this. Let's not just speak in a particular platform. And you see that. I think Coach Z came the other day and she was telling us that she's a certified virtual speaker, something like that. And I was like, wow, really? That you have to learn this. You learn public speaking, like virtual speaking, like we're speaking right now. It's virtual speaking. Some people cannot do it, even though they've been speaking physically for the past 20 years. Just put this camera on their face and They'll start talking. So it is important that we do this. So thank you, Jemima, for taking us there. Jemima, I want you to tell us how do you find your audience? Okay, before then, I want you to tell us how can you find your voice and own your uniqueness. I think you said something around that while you were talking about the steps. So how can we find this voice?
Okay, thank you, coach. I'm glad we're getting value. One way to actually find your voice, as I said earlier on, is practice. Practice. Or the first one actually is to understand the area that you're passionate in. What can you speak about on end? That is, you can speak about without getting tired. You can converse with somebody about it, and you don't even know that the time is moving. That's the first step. Like I said, there's this man in the book. He was into the line of medicine. And so when he learned how to communicate effectively, he began to use it for his patients. He was able to teach them better about a certain thing, about the risks and how it works. He was able to communicate it better by being part of a speaking class. And that was what he was passionate about. So he was able to create that impact in that field, and people were able to be transformed. There was this understanding. So the first step is to discover what are you passionate about? What do you like speaking about? Like I said, for me, it's books. I just love sharing ideas from books, just talking about books, anything books. I'm there. For you, it may be what would I say now? You know what you love to do. You know what you love to converse with people. You just when you are talking about it, it could even be politics. For some people, it's politics. They'll just come online and just give political analysis, something you never even saw from the news. They saw, and when they break it down for you, you are so where did they see it from? So whatever it is, that is your field, you can begin to talk about it. It could also be your experiences. Let me not forget that. It could be your experience. It could even be your day-to-day activities. You can say, I just want to share a lesson from my day-to-day activity with you people today. This is what I learned. This is the insight from it. That could be it for you. It could be jewelries. It could be fashion. Or as Coach Faith said for Mr. Gary, it could be wine. He said talking about wines. And from there, continue. So just look for that aspect that you know your heart resonates with. But I was pondering some days ago, and I said, apart from maybe just speaking, maybe about books, what else does my heart pant for? What is that thing that my heart is passionate about? I can speak to people on end. And it just came to me like light. I can speak to people about Jesus on end. I can teach about his word on end. Just keep on talking and talking. So that's one step. What exactly do you love to do? And what number two is this: what change do you want to see in the lives of people? What's that transformation? What's that thing that when you see that people don't have it, your heart bleeds and you're wondering, how come? What's happening? Oh my God, I wish I could tell them that this is just what they needed to do. That's also another aspect. Your direction of burden, what your heart pants for, what do you desire to see that as a transformation in the lives of people. That could also be another direction. And then how to hone, that's actually on building yourself or building your speaking skill. And then honing your uniqueness is practice. You have to practice. That's like somebody just said from the quote by Dale Carnegie that I quoted earlier on, that the difference between a good speaker and a great speaker is 1,000 speeches. What that means is a great speaker, having spoken consistently, has studied their talk for a long time, and they can decipher that this is what works and this is what doesn't. So they can just come to an audience and go straight to what works, and you see that impact. They can really go straight to the heart of their audience. So for you that you're just starting out, or for us, because we're all moving, God is helping us to build on this journey of speaking. We have to keep on speaking, and as you speak, take notes. For instance, when I'm done with this now, I'll watch this video again and look, how did I do? What am I not supposed to say? What were some words I use, some vocabulary I use that I need to cut out? So it has to do with practice. You need to keep on learning. You need to keep on practicing. Okay, this didn't work this time. I don't like this particular dress I used for this. This is how I appear next time. I will watch this other speaker. This is what I will do. As you continue to do that, inconsistency is the key. As you continue to do this, you begin to do more of what works and you begin to cut out what doesn't.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Jemima. Coach Innocential says, I love talking about food. Oh. We're going to start the foodie book club pretty soon, guys. This is what I love doing. Jemima, what do you think? Yeah. Then I want to see people eating healthy and growing the knowledge of who they are in Christ. Okay, beautiful. I love talking about God, scriptures run in my veins. I can know that's beautiful. So that's something, that's something. Okay, speaking in this for constant practice. Yes, Mandora. Mandora, I've missed you so much. How have you been? So, guys, tell us in the comments what you love speaking about or what you love to talk about. Or as you have entered into this new year, you made up your mind that I want to start talking about this. Don't miss the speaking and the writing book club. Before Ma'am Jemima go on with this, I think I have two more questions to ask her. So, Ma'am Jemima, can you just tell us more a little about the book club? Maybe your book club or the book club generally. Go ahead.
Okay, this one is the place that I have capacity and skill. So let me do shameless marketing right now. If you are not part of the Readers Book Club system yet, I don't know what you are waiting for. For those of you who said, I've not been able to read, I'm not committed to my goals, I'm not intentional, what do I do? Readers Book Club is waiting for you, asking what will you do? And this year, we are focused on accountability. We are focused on commitment to our goals and intentionality about our growth. So we are not looking back this year. The fire is burning. And the essence of the Readers Book Club system is to give you that platform where you can communicate with people of like minds. We have 6 book clubs in core aspects of life. I am the coach for the Speaking and Writing Book Club. What do we do in these book clubs? We focus on books regarding this particular aspect. There's a spirituality and Bible study book club, there's a leadership and mindset book club, there is the business book club. There are 6 of them. What do you do in these book clubs? You focus on, for instance, you're in the business book club, you focus on books on business. Imagine reading books back to back on business. Just imagine that, and you put it in your in the business you are doing or in the work that you are doing. Imagine the level of growth that you will experience. And not just that, you have people who are there who desire to also grow in this aspect. Imagine you see somebody reading, they keep on dropping their insights, and you're not reading. You'll be thinking, they will then not see me as unserious. You will go and read, because as Coach Faith will say, willpower is rubbing off on you. Willpower is rubbing off on you. So that's the essence of the book club system, to read and to see that you are committed to your goals, to see that you are intentional about your growth, to see that you scale via knowledge from books. And there are coaches there to hold you by the hand, to ask you, have you read today? You know, when somebody is always saying, have you read today? Have you read today? And what did you learn? I've not seen your insights in the group. You'll be feeling ashamed. You will go and read. That's the essence of the book club system, to see that we read, to see that people begin to spring forth as change agents, as thought leaders in their respective fields of interest via the knowledge they gain from intentional reading of books. Please join the Readers Book Club system.
Interesting, Ma'am Jemima. Thank you for sharing. So we are in for the ACR model this year. We are accountable. We are committed to execution, to our goals, and we're intentional about our growth. So if this looks like what you are looking at for, like you want to be accountable, you want to be committed to execution, and then you want to be intentional about your growth, the ACR model, then you have to go through the 6 page, read about it, send a DM, ask questions. What do I need to know? Coach Faith, how do I get on board? How do I connect to this system of intentionality? What has brought me this far is reading. The truth is, it's reading. Like I would always say that the books you don't read can't help you. Like you see these books behind my back. If I don't read them, they can't help me. I can just keep snapping pictures with them, and you are looking at my camera. You're like, this one has good. So It will help me. But each time I open my mouth to talk, you're like, ah, she's really reading those books. I can see the effects, I can see the result. Each time I step into an environment, people are not comfortable, they'll be like, ah, knowledge worker is here again. They started calling me knowledge worker back in 2013, 2014. That was when they started calling me knowledge worker. I didn't even know what it meant. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant. Until I had to go check. Oh, knowledge worker. Oh, it means top leaders. Okay, people who are intentional about the knowledge space. So that is it, guys. I believe you are here because we are a family. We carry the same DNA. Innocenta, Dora, Kanimo, Faith, every one of us, Jemima, we all have the same DNA. If you go and check it and you discover that there is a connectivity, that's why you are here. If not, you will not be able to understand our message. We keep talking, we keep shouting, like, what are they doing? What is wrong with these people? They are reading books. Oh, yeah, now. Somebody saw my Facebook ad while I was preparing for Jemima. I told you, right? Well, no, I don't think I've said this. While we were preparing for Transcend, somebody saw my Facebook ad, and the person commented, they play. They play. Which book? I don't want to mention the name of the president. Which book this president read to become president? And immediately I saw it, I just looked at this and I was like, these are the problems of this nation that we are in. The next thing I did was, of course, I don't have the time to start bantering, going back and forth. I just blocked the person. I say, you see, you're not carrying our DNA, so we can't connect. It's going to be difficult to even convince you. So what am I saying, guys? What am I saying that joining the system is really going to help you today. Today is day 9. We've got 6 days to go. 5 days to go after today. We're rounding up on Sunday. Rounding up Transcend for food for the year 2024. I'm going to have another edition, maybe 2025, as the case may be. So if you want to plug in right now, we have installment packages that you can connect to. We have monthly packages. We have masterminds. So when you're interested, you send us a DM and register. Like this, they would always say that a word is enough for the wise. All right, whatever area of life you're interested in, please join. And once you are able to flow in an area of life based on the next 3 to 6 months, and you're accountable, you've read, you've done the work, then you can also migrate to another book club, where productivity and mindset and all of that book club. Thank you for coming around. Okay, it's going to help your life. So thank you so much. I'm Jemima. I want to ask another question. How do we find our audience? Please tell us.
It's breaking, coach. I didn't get you.
How do we find our audience?
I didn't get that. I guess the network is it's
If you
breaking.
heard me, guys, can you type it in the room? I asked the question around finding your audience. Your audience.
Okay. Okay. Okay, coach. I heard that. I heard that. Okay. First first and foremost, you you decide whose heart which set of people does your heart burn for. That's one way. What set of people does your heart burn for? Is it just to reach out to people in general, or are they a certain set of people that you desire that your message reaches? That's the first way. So when you have found out who these people are, you can begin to find out how do you communicate to them in a way that they can understand, because different people from different places understand things differently. The way young people understand things is different from the way older people do. The way married people understand things is different from the way singles do. So it is now left to you to research, how do these people that I want to communicate to, how do they understand things better? There's a pastor, okay, my pastor now, he released a song, and the song was targeted to the youths. And it's a Christian song, but there was a little of beats in it. And he said when his wife asked him, why are they beats in this song? He said it's because of the youth, because I noticed they like beats a lot. They like something that they can shake their body, so that when they're shaking their body, they'll be listening to the message of the song. Do you see it now? So I just cited that story to let us know that for the people you want your message to reach, it's not about saying I'll package anything now. Anyway they can understand it, it's okay. There must be that desire to figure out how do these people think, what is topmost on their mind, and then how can this message get across to them. Then another way is, as I will keep on saying, practice. When you begin speaking first, things may not be clear, but as you continue and you begin to observe, you will notice the people who are more gravitated. Sometimes we think that we even want to speak to a certain sect of people, and then you begin to see that it's even another sect that are being gravitated. So these are things that you take note of. As we grow, there are things about ourselves that we'll continue to know. So as you don't just be open-minded, open your mind. Don't just say it must be these people. If I don't speak to these people, I will not agree. You must keep your mind open to study, to be flexible, to see what's working, to see which people are really listening, which people are really implementing. And if you are the type that just wants to speak to people whoever they are, as long as they listen to your message, good and fine. But it all boils down to you. Once you take note of people who are resonating with what you are saying, who when you speak, they just love the way you speak, they just love the way you do your things, then stick with them and keep on dishing out your message to them. There's something I forgot to say as regards building the speaking skill. There's something I forgot to say. I just wanted to add it and also to just put them together. Concerning building your speaking skill, one thing that can truly help you is reading. I'm not just saying this because we are talking about books now. It is something that I have experienced in my life. One thing that has marked an extent of transformation for me was when I began to interact with light that comes from books. And we are talking about the Readers Book Club system. It's not just saying come and join and then I am a product of the Readers system. This speaking skill that you see built is a result of following in the book club system, reading consistently. Reading builds you, not just only in your speaking, but in every other aspect of your life. But if you know you really want to speak and you want to have what to say, and you want to flow, you want to have content, and you want your words to carry weight, then reading is something that you need to begin to take really seriously and to practice actively.
Thank you, thank you. I just saw what about to drop here. Thank you, everyone. It's been fun. Guys, you have a question for Jemimah? You have anything to ask? We're supposed to have the second session after now, but our speaker is not here yet, so we take the next 5 minutes to address questions. All right. So if you have any questions right now, can you drop it so that she will address your questions? So, Maduma, what you said is true when you said reading can really help you. Like I would always tell people, I teach a lot around communication, how to speak. Though I don't teach it as a course generally, but I mentor people who are interested in that area of life, like they want to do this, they want to take it to the next level. I will offer it as a course in a parent organization, fast food African company. So what I always tell people is this, if you like, go for a training and pay $1 million for that training. If you don't have what to say, when you open your mouth, nothing will come out. They will tell you, twist your mouth like this, take this position, do like this. You know you're supposed to say when you're talking to one person, when you're talking to a group of people, when you are doing round table discussion, this is how you're supposed to say it. But when you open your mouth first, what will you say? You need to have content. I see a lot of people that like challenges. I want to learn how to speak. Okay, straight. There's this course I take for, I've just gone to the course, but I still can't speak. I think because you don't have substance. Whatever is not inside cannot come out, right? If you don't have it, you don't have it. If you like, go for all the trainings in this world. When you finish, they will tell you come out. When you open your mouth, nothing will come outside because you don't have anything inside. So the very first way to begin to do speaking is by opening your mouth, learning to read, building capacity from the inside out. I discovered that most times, especially for people that are speakers, you are a pastor here, you are a church leader, you do your speaking. Before you go and speak, you have to prepare your message, right? You have to know what you want to say. So when you get there, you not be fumbling, you not be like I was saying, you start using filler words because you don't know what to say. I can remember back in the days when we really started off speaking, we started in church, in the Sunday school, we used a lot of filler words, like I was saying. It's because you don't know what to put in there. So you keep using filler words. You know, like I was saying, before you say two sentences, you have used, like I was saying, because you don't have content. When you have content, you are even, in fact, sometimes when people are like, okay, you are too fast. It's because the things that are flowing, they are just so much. I want to wrap them so that you can get them. It is loaded. I'm loaded on the inside. I'm just using myself as an example because I grew up in a place where you will never believe it. Let me share this story. My own biological father saw me school one day, and he had to carry the phone. He was running. He ran to my mom. I was like, "Who taught Faith how to speak like this?" Because Faith grew up with my mother. The only thing Faith was so good at is the native dialect. Like in those days, guys, can you remember vernacular speaking? They will tell you if you see vernacular, 30 naira. In those days, if you see vernacular, you pay 50 naira. You pay 10 naira, you pay 5 naira. Me in those days, because I was a market woman, write my name because there's nothing I can do. It flows. It's on the inside. There's nothing I can do. Before I would say, come back here, I've said it. Before I would not go back and say, hey, you're writing name so. Before you know, my name is like 10 on the list. It's like 10 on the list. I'll go and sell market. I come and pay because I was a market woman. I was selling for my grandmother. I'm owing them in school because I spoke this language. They, why they flogging you for speaking your language? I said, you were not supposed to speak this language in school. But it was a normal for me, it was a lifestyle. So even those that went to primary school together, that went to secondary school together, when they saw me speaking, they were shocked. They didn't believe it because in those days, if the language teacher comes to the class and they ask him, who can tell us stories in the native language? I'll be perfect to say yes. So in fact, people will just talk to me and be like, faith is there now. I remember in those days, we were writing our junior WAEC, our junior secondary school exams to move to the senior secondary session. For those of you that are not from this part of the world, so we have the way we do this, we do our stuff here. So it was that day we had to do this very language course. And immediately I was called upon because it was an oral exam. Immediately I was called upon. My teacher now told me, I said, this one, give her A, just give her A, let her go because this subject is her life. The one was like, why would I just give her an A in this subject? Let me interview her. In fact, when the woman heard I was an expert, she went and started bringing questions that only my grandmother can answer, and I answered everything. Before she would land, I'll give her double answer. She was not like, this woman. For those of you that are from my place, you know we call old women a dede. So they will say, oh yeah, dede, like the child of a dede, the child of an old woman. That was what they were calling me then. I was so good at it. So breaking out of that cocoon, like that echo chamber, to be able to speak to even somebody that is not from this part of the world that I am in, and they are able to understand me, they are able to do business with me, they are able to connect with me, my dear, really brought me this far. I must say. There are days I will have to sit down and deliberately saying those words to myself. I'm just saying it to myself. I'm reciting the lines. I see sentences in books and I say them the way they are and I use them in my conversation. So this thing is deep, guys. If you want to build capacity, no matter where you are right now, no matter your level, if you want to scale, you have to be deliberate. You have to be deliberate. What I'm Jemima is sharing around speaking, around breaking forth, around becoming that exceptional person. Like I said already, we live in the era of publishing. This is the era of what publishing. If you want to make money, no matter what you sell, Coaching Essential talks about food. You have to communicate that food very well with so much dexterity, with capacity, that when you open your mouth to say, they're like, if I don't eat this food. When I was selling books, I used to sell books. When I get to your place and I want to talk about books, you'll be like, it's coming again, we must buy this book. Because I will still talk about this book that it will be like the author of the book is my younger brother or my senior brother or something. So please, I want to encourage you guys. This is practical session that will help you sell whatever you have to sell. That will help you take other skills that you have to the world. If you want to communicate right now, we live in a connected world, and the exchange of which means that, all right, the exchange of value is really very high right now. You want to connect with somebody in Australia, in America, in England, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, it is very, very fast. All right, it is very fast because we live in this era, so you must use capacity to take yourself to the next level. Thank you for coming around. Our next guy is here. Flexibility and hunger in finding my way out of is finding okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. So, Ma'am Jemima, you're going to give us, I've not seen any questions. So you're going to give us final thoughts, okay? You're going to give us final thoughts around um, the book that you have shared so much from. Uh, Please, you're going to do that. And then you also tell us if the book is okay for us to go read it in terms of recommendation. Please go on. I want to converse with the next speaker back end so that I will direct.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay. If there's one thing that I want us to remember or to take from this conversation is that there are three things that make you a great speaker or an effective speaker: authenticity, vulnerability, and humility. Everything that you want to do revolves around this. It is authenticity that will make you to push through, to see that your uniqueness, you are aware of your uniqueness, and that's what you present to your world. It is also authenticity that will make you desire, and vulnerability that will make you to desire to cause the people who listen to you to really interact with your heart. You speak with them heart to heart. You pass your message across because you want that one person or those group of people to be transformed by what they hear you say. So as you go about building your speaking skill, if you've not started yet, or you're on that journey, or you're even speaking already, it's a journey that we are on. It's a process, and day by day we get better and better. But don't forget that the essence of speaking is to communicate your heart and to communicate your message, to see the light that the life of the person who is listening to you gets better, and that they are transformed to take, and they are encouraged to take action in the direction that they may have been delaying to. The book by Joe Saba is an amazing one. If you know that you are passionate about speaking, you want to improve your communication when you're speaking to an audience, or even when you're speaking to a person, you want to ensure you have meaningful conversations, and you don't just want to have conversations without earning anything from it, then Joe Saba's book, How to Speak for Fun and Profit, is the book for you. It will build you up, it will show you the things that you need to do, just like I've shared with you, the things you need to do to hone the skill of speaking, and to see that you succeed in your field of interest. I'm happy that we are all transformed tonight. I just want to encourage us to use what we have learned so far, apply to that space where we are in, and to see that lives of people are transformed. Thank you for having me tonight, Coach.
Wow, interesting. The three things that make you a great speaker: authenticity, vulnerability, and humility. Guys, I think Fame Project, Mr. Is that Mr. Eddie? Okay, Fame Project already told us that we should use the VAR model now, VAR framework, VAH, vulnerability, authenticity, and humility. So if you forget
Wow, that
anything
was
tonight,
beautiful.
that should be your takeaway. So he's already catching the fire. I believe he's going to join us
It's
in the
catching
system. Yeah, he's going to join us in the system as we take transformation to the next level. So you guys don't have any question for Jemima? Let me go back. So do you have any question about joining the book club? How many of you are ready to join us in the book club? If you are ready to join us, type I am ready, 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 ready. For those of you that are in already, just type I am in already. Let me see those of you that are ready to sign up with us in the book club to join the family officially. If you are ready, type I am ready in the room. If you are in already, just type I am in already. Okay, so that you can pepper those that are not in. So that they'll make up their mind to join. All right. So if you are in already, type I am in already. If you're planning to join us, you're not in yet, tell us I'm coming in now. Okay. So let's use that before we see our next speaker. All right. So guys, speaking is beautiful. You want to make money from it? Yes. How many of you know Les Brand? Les Brand. Many of you know Les Brand. Many of you know My Tomorrow. Let's My Tomorrow. Those guys are powerful speakers. You see the ideas still everywhere up until now. My tomorrow is late. The guy is 246, but you see here so much about him on a daily basis. Tomorrow is late. as well. So these guys were powerful speakers. Miss Brown is still alive in hell and heart. Okay, you cannot be in the spirit as an Igbo. It's either you are in or you are not in. This man wants to use such language for us. Please don't use that one for us here. We are here. We want people that are in directly in spiritual
Mr.
and body, not just
He
in
needs
spirit.
to go and join the spiritual book club. When he's speaking in
Okay, so that
spiritual
will be in the
language.
spirit. Okay, that's it. Okay. Oh, in a sense that that's it. I know Miss Brown alias you must be hungry. Yes, I was hungry. That's the line. I was hungry. I never wanted to say I never wanted to hear no for an answer. I was hungry. Oh my god. Oh, Africa says network. Oh, I don't know what's going on in this part of the world, but its network is still not coming up. It's still not coming up, so we have to call it a day. So tomorrow um we're going to be having Miss. Let me check it out. Okay, we're going to be having Castillo tomorrow, Mr. Castillo Luis from the United States tomorrow to speak about business and how to make money. All right. Where are those in the book club? Are they all gone? I'm not seeing them. I'm in essential um, productivity, Ma'am Shirley and everyone. So guys, those of you that are here, you're not ready to join us. Prosper, you need to build capacity in your speaking. It's going to help you, okay? It's going to help you. Okay, so I see you guys already. We're just trying to see if we can wait for the next 2 minutes for our next speaker to show up, guys. If he doesn't show up, we have to go now. I believe you've been blessed by Ma'am JEMIMAH. Ma'am JEMIMAH, thank you so much for availing yourself, for showing up. It's
Thank you,
wonderful.
coach. Thank you,
Thank you so
coach.
much.
I truly appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you for showing up. So guys, we're done. I think his network is still acting up, so we have to go. Thank you so much for your time tonight. So we're gonna meet tomorrow again, same time, 7 p.m. What? For those of you that are silent listeners and observers, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up in the program, for being a silent observer. We do hope that one of these days you start talking as well, you start contributing and you know showing up in the comment section. Okay, all right. Thank you for your time. We love you all. I'll see you in the next session for tomorrow. Bye for now. Tell them bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for showing up.